If you're like me, you already know this guy. This is Andy Markowitz. His proper title is Director of Global Digital Strategy at GE, but he actually wears a few different hats. One has to do with SMAC, with social media.
Advertising Consortium.
Yeah, I always forget the middle word, but it's Social Media Week, and so we're here at South by Southwest, and there's a big panel that's going to be starting here at 10 Oak, if you want to be specific, in just a couple of minutes. What's going on currently with the Social Media Advertising Consortium, and as vested people, how do we partner? How do we get involved?
Yeah. So we are growing our membership actively. We've got great participation from great brands, from great platforms, great agencies, great providers. And what we're seeing is really an understanding of what we need to kind of advance this initiative forward, advance social forward. So how do we bring more money getting spent into the marketplace? And that's what we want to do. We want to have things like this where we reintroduce research, maybe even create some standards along the way and get people talking. So we create a bit of a marketplace of activity and action that allows us to really develop more proof points. The more proof points you have, the more money that comes in, and that's what we're trying to do here, is establish a cadence of proof points and opportunities that allow people to participate in social more.
And you've really got a who's who inside here, so the conversation is very intelligent, very hands-on. What do you want things to look like a year from now?
You know, it's a great question, and we talk about it often. And, you know, the funny thing about it is this: when we started SMAC 3 years ago, the social media landscape looked completely different than what it is today. And we constantly evolve our thinking into what we want it to be. And I think right now, what we keep focused on is this. We want more money focus coming into the market. We want more brands, more agencies putting their dollars into social. So when we think about what we want to do, it will focus a lot about research and what the value is for research, for brands and for companies. And the better we can do that, the better off we'll be. So we'll be looking not necessarily around standards as much as we will be around those proof points that I talked about earlier. From my point of view, what we're entering right now in the world of digital is an age of accountability. Okay, and when it comes to accountability, social needs that kind of platform to leap forward from. And so we're working on that right now within SMAC to say, okay, how do you make this platform accountable to businesses to drive consumption, to drive penetration? That's what we want to do.
Because of the rapid evolution in social, this answer is going to be totally different from what you would have said 6 months ago even. The biggest opportunity right now in social is, the biggest challenge in social right now is what? So opportunity first.
Well, I think the opportunity and challenge are the same. I think it is finding those standards that allow you to create that accountability. I think everyone understands that you can create a Facebook page. I think everyone understands the value of LinkedIn as a content channel or content distribution channel. So I think the opportunities lie in how do you kind of start to get that as part of an owned ecosystem, not just an earned ecosystem, but a trackable owned ecosystem that allows you to understand where the value is. So I think the opportunity and challenge is both the same. I think people understand that they're eyeballs. They understand there's penetration, right? Everyone talks about the convergence of social into the regular part of the world. All media is social. So I don't think it's a matter of understanding that this is not something that's going to go away, but I think it is really more about the value. So I'll stick with the value for 100, Jack.
Love it. So keep the conversation going, whether it's in an iMedia Summit, a SMAC event, just with your peers. This is something we've all got to really get figured out. But then we have to figure out it again. And again, every 6 months it's going to change, I think.
I agree. I think there's a horribly overused analogy, which is we're in the top of the first inning, but we're not in the top of the first inning anymore. We have a lot of learning that we can have right now, that we have companies and partners like Curate, which are adding data into the equation. Everyone's going to get smarter, and the more data we have, the more proof points we have, the things will change in such a rapid way that I don't think we'll understand what it looks like 6 months from now, 6 years from now. We'll look back and go, I can't believe we were doing that.
Well, Andy, I think it's time to kick this thing off. So we're going to head into breakfast. You stay here. We'll let you know what we find out later. See ya.